Well, believe it or not, you would think there weren't going to be any more elections till we had to worry about till 2016. But that's not the case. Often there are special elections for various reasons. And coming up soon, that's exactly what's going to be happening for your district for the state senate. We have John Moorlach here today. Now, you may not, the folks may not know you personally because you've been on the Board of Supervisors for 8 years.
Correct.
But this hasn't been your district. They may know your name, but of course we always had Pat Bates on or people from this district. So first, tell us about yourself.
Well, they might have known me when I was treasurer for the county. I was countywide elected, serving as a treasurer tax collector.
So you're the guy who took our money.
I'm the guy. Gladly took your money to provide the necessary services that government in Orange County does. In 1994, I ran for treasurer against the incumbent who'd been there for 20 years. His name was Robert Citron. And I sort of pointed out that his investment strategy was inappropriate. I tried to let the Board of Supervisors know that if they didn't disengage, that they'd have some serious problems if interest rates rose. I lost the election in June of '94. By December of '94, the county was filed for Chapter 9 bankruptcy.
Yeah.
So everything I said regretfully came true. The county lost roughly almost $1.7 billion in investment losses. And then in March 17th, the same day we're voting this year, I was appointed to replace him and served in that capacity for 12 years. And then was a little frustrated with another financial debacle that I saw coming up on the horizon, and that was pension plan enhancements that were creating massive debts and liabilities for cities, counties, and states. So I ran in 2006 for supervisor and was elected and then re-elected in 2010. And so Orange County has term limits, so only 2 terms are permitted. Thought I was going to retire. I'd already spent 1/3 of my life in public service, but had so many wonderful people saying we'd really like to see you continue on. So I put my name in for state senate, and we've got 3 candidates on the ballot. We're having fun campaigning.
And the reason is, of course, is Mimi Walters, who you hope to replace, has moved on to, of course, in the U.S. Congress. And that's why we're having this, this happens now and then, this special election, so to speak. Now I say special, but in reality, many areas of our state are going through the same type of thing. So it's not like this is the only place that's
We have three supervisors around the state ran for Congress and were successful. And so now we're one. There's a district in Lancaster, and then there's a district in the Bay Area. And so we're one of 3 senatorial districts that are having a special to replace the incumbent that stepped out midterm.
Exactly. So what could you bring to the state senate that maybe you feel your opponents can't?
Well, I am a certified public accountant, and I'm also a certified financial planner. Of the 120 elected senators and assemblymen, not one is a CPA or a financial planner. So I bring that experience. I also bring 20 years of public service. Ran a portfolio of $6 to $7 billion for the county. Then I've also had 8 years of fun achievements and accomplishments as a supervisor. One would be that I was able to work with my colleagues to negotiate a reduction of the unfunded retiree medical, which for the county in 2006 was $1.4 billion. We were able to reduce that to $412 million, so we reduced it by $1 billion, or 71%. Governor Brown is just now saying, I want to address the retiree medical liability for the state of California. Their unfunded liability is $72 billion. So if I could help the governor in assisting him to reduce his unfunded liability by 71%, we could reduce the wall of debt here in the state of California by $50 billion. So that's, I think, something that I bring is just not only experience of having done it, but also know how to do it. And I also have a good working relationship with our governor. He and I have had several interactions and discussions. I tried to do something about the unconstitutionality of granting retroactive pension benefits, which created such a massive liability for the County of Orange. So when he did his Public Employee Pension Reform Act a couple years ago, lo and behold, he puts in a provision that prohibits the granting of retroactive benefits. So I feel like I've got some fingerprints on the state trying to prevent more hemorrhaging of finances, but our state is in dire need. Ken, we are in 46th place out of 50 states when it comes to financial metrics. If we compare ourselves to all 50 states, we have to thank Massachusetts, Connecticut, Illinois, and one more, Illinois, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New Jersey, where Governor Christie's having a whale of a time the last week trying to address these very same issues. So the district would be sending someone that's got some experience, both private and public.
And no matter who wins this, as far as this district goes, you'll be dealing with a Democrat-heavy system up in Sacramento. But as you said, you have worked with the governor before, and we know even the governor has battled his own parties over certain things because he seems to, in many times, be towards the middle, at least when it comes to fiscal needs. And so you may be working with the governor against his own party, right, at times?
Well, he has been the adult in the room, but I think he's fully cognizant of the fact that the state is in pretty sad shape. So we now have revenues that are being generated that exceed projections, and people are throwing the word surplus around. Well, there is no surplus when you just make a little extra. We have so much in debt that this state has to address. So at least he's been prudent in trying to establish a rainy day fund and trying to, I may disagree with him on high-speed rail and a few other issues, but it's the money, it's the budget. We've got to fix this state. We can't just bank on the fact that we have wonderful weather.
No. Let's talk about some of the initiatives that you've implemented while you've been in public office. Some of these people know about because just of the name, Laura's Law. Others, they may not. There's one here listed, COIN. I don't know what that is. So explain some of these that you've, Laura's Law is, we know about, but
okay, great. Well, that's, just where this, I was able to at least get Senator Darrell Steinberg to give us an ability to fund Laura's Law, which we didn't have the money. So we became the second county to adopt it, followed by LA, San Francisco, Mendocino, Yolo, San Diego. So we kind of, cut through the ice on that one. With COIN, it's civic openness in negotiations. Customarily, all union negotiations, bargaining unit negotiations are done in closed session. You just had that in your last session of what closed session is. It means we can't tell you anything.
Right.
And so you don't know what they're putting on the table. You don't know how we're countering. And so with COIN, that now has to be disclosed. And so that was in an ordinance that I brought to the Board of Supervisors. And so negotiations going forward, you'll see, well, if they're asking for 20% raises, which is a crazy place to start, but that's sort of what happens. And we come back and say, no, you should have 0, and then you start negotiating through. We now are saying you've got to identify what you're asking for, and we have to quantify it.
Okay. And also, being that you were a supervisor, as all the supervisors are in some way or another, you're involved with the toll roads and other areas of the county, Orange County Fire Authority, and of course that was formed after the bankruptcy, of course, to keep it separate.
It was actually formed an hour before the county filed.
Oh, 1 hour before. Interesting.
It was like voted. Yeah, December 6th. It was voted.
Wow. They saw that the need for it. So you've interacted, at least on a county-wide level. Do you feel you can translate this to the state level as well? You're going to be now interacting with the state systems and all. I mean, obviously, Orange County, one of the richest and largest counties as far as population goes. Do you feel that's going to help you and translate over if you get elected to the Senate?
Well, we're certainly one of the larger counties population-wise.
Yeah.
We're third. So we certainly have some gravitas when we're in the building. But we're also politically a little more conservative, so we're sort of out of step with a lot of the majority of the legislators. I had the privilege of serving on the California Association of State Counties, CSAC, California State, and I was on their board and I was on their executive committee. We have 259 supervisors, 58 counties, and so I was able to interact with all of them, and by the time my term concluded, they gave me the Circle of Service Award and recognized me for my contributions to that august body. So yes, I think I can work with people on both sides of the table. The compliment that I received was, we may not have agreed with you, but you were always professional and polite about how you brought the discussion and your persuasive arguments to bear, and it actually had an impact on how we thought about things. So the issue is not to be confrontational, it's just to be cooperative and to be persuasive. You and I, no two people are going to agree on everything, but you can certainly agree to disagree agreeably. So I had a lot of fun on that playing field for the last few years, and it was nice that my colleagues recognized my contributions.
All right, very good. Well, your website, it's very easy. You can it's just moorlachforsenate.com. So if you want to get more information about John, and it's the 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day, right?
St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, and obviously people here now, where I live, we're not involving anything like that, so I haven't gotten any materials, but of course here they probably have. And go ahead and read those and make up your mind, of course, but you can see that John Moorlach, you've worked with the state already quite a bit for several years, and good luck to you, and we'll see what happens, okay? All right. John Moorlach, running for the 37th District, and again, moorlachforsenate.com. You can get information about him and make up your own mind. So thank you very much, sir. Nice to meet you. All right.
Thanks for inviting me.
Very good.